All right, now I'm going to turn it back over to the Reverend Matt Lincoln, who has served as the rector of Trinity Episcopal Church since the summer of 2015. He leads a congregation focusing on deepening spirituality using contemporary language and liturgy, Catholic school for 13 years, I should know that, whose members are always striving for social justice. He is a trustee of the Episcopal Diocese of Western New York, the group that is responsible for, among other things, Episcopal church buildings that are not occupied by congregations. He also chairs the Diocesan Commission to Dismantle Racism and Discrimination. Reverend? Go.
See if I can make this so that we don't all kick it. So I can't believe I'm wasting my first slide on that photograph. But blurry hands are part of the story. Church is always moving, and it is both a building and the people. So here's the choir. That's a pun. The men and boys are leaving the choir, which is the place where they, the choir, were. This is the first of several pairs of then and now pictures. The church is where the church gathers. Within the church, the choir is where the choir gathers. Get it? As much as these buildings are beautiful in and of themselves, the purpose of that beauty is to help people discover and respond to their sense of meaning and purpose in their lives. So welcome to one of Allentown's great artistic treasures. I pinch myself every day because I get to come back every day. During the Allentown Art Festival, we have an average of 4,000 people each day coming through the doors to look at the windows. It's thrilling to see that many people coming through just for that. It's wonderful. It is one of the treasuries of some of the most significant stained glass in the world, Barbara Campagna keeps telling us. I believe her about most other things, so I believe her about that too. The windows represent a revolution in technology as well as in artistic ideas. So the building is historic not just because it's old, but because it shows the history of innovation in its day. Here's a then and now from 1936 on the left and last week on the right. We removed some pews, replaced the worship leader's prayer desk down in the front with the altar, changing the purpose of worship from wordy prayers to community gathering and ritual feeding. Here's a detail comparing the pulpit, where it used to have an acoustic soundboard and now has a microphone. The top of that pulpit decoration now graces the baptismal font, which you'll see in just a second, but the bottom half of it you'll see also in a moment. So that spire hanging above the baptismal font used to hang over the pulpit. Did you know that baptismal fonts have 8 sides because weeks have 7 days? The 8th day is the first day of next week. It is the day of hope, of new beginnings. So there is the bottom half of the spire, which is holding up the only burnt offering altar in the Episcopal Church, which we use in this room where we are right now on Thursday evenings to turn our prayers into smoke and to let them go up. Here's a then and now. There's a postcard view of Delaware Avenue. I don't know the date of the postcard, but you can see a horse and buggy on to the left and automobile motor cars elsewhere. You can also see the tall spires on Babeville in the background. It used to be called, Asbury Church? Yes, Babeville now. You also see that our doors, here's a new view of us, with our doors painted red, which we did recently. And you'll also see that we skipped building our tall tower. We helped Mariah Love build Trinity House and other projects to help immigrants and working women instead in the 1890s. But we did paint the doors red in response to the arrest and detention of the Buffalo 25 Mexican restaurant workers who were arrested and detained by ICE 3 years ago. And a couple of them slept in our building for a few nights as they began to get themselves organized, and we decided to engage in sanctuary work with them and others. But sanctuary means many things, and so here is another picture of sanctuary as a couple comes out from getting married at Trinity. This is a place where people can express themselves, their hopes, and commitments without fear of judgment or rejection. So layers and layers of sanctuary. Part of the symbolism of church architecture is the center aisle, which suggests life's journey towards God. The couple makes their way through the world, that is their community gathered around them, and towards the great arch, which signifies an entrance into the nearer presence of God. So another wedding picture from 1907. The courtyard was not originally paved. In fact, it wasn't a courtyard to begin with. We put the building to my left up at sometime around 1900. We use it all day, all summer long for worship. We just do the buffalo thing and go outside for the summer. We begin with Allentown Art Festival weekend and end with the beginning of the football season. And unless it's raining or really cold, we're outside for worship all summer. On the other end of the year, I just love the way the snow sticks to the rusticated surface of the Medina sandstone. I also love the young people who live in the building and help make sure that whoever can get to church on a snowy day can get into church once they get here. And check out this weirdness. The temperature and humidity were just perfect for the moisture in the air to condense as water on the walls that were warmed from the inside of the building, while the condensation took the form of frost on the unheated buttresses. This is fascinating to be here every day.